Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-Fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is the richness of the pimento cheese. When I took a first bite, I was like, go, go, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go chicken, go, go, go get it.
Good evening and welcome to the Chick-fil-A Douglas Coaches Show. I'm Matt Peavy and Coach Co is with me as always. And we're so thankful that you're here tonight, here in our dining room, and also joining us online. Be sure to go ahead and share this with all your friends and family, and just bring some publicity and to our Trojans. And we're still undefeated. We're having a great season. Ranked number 22, I think, in the whole state. Number 1 in 5A.
I think we're up to 21.
Let's get to 21. Let's get that right. Let's get up there. We want to do that. 21 in the state, and then number 1 in 5A. So we're excited about that. But we're excited that you're with us, and hope that you enjoy tonight, Coach. We're just going to start off really just to celebrate a record that was broke on Friday night. Fred, I think he went 7 yards over Lewis Smith's record. That was set back. What year was it? Do you remember what year?
97.
97, thank you. I know that's supposed to be my job, but it was in 1997. So congratulations to Fred, and congratulations to Fred's offensive line that I seen kind of on some of your posts. It was really the offensive lineman that wanted to go and help him break that record.
Well, Lewis was there Friday night, and, I typically wouldn't have been a guy that said, hey, let's keep Fred in there and get the record, but Lewis was there. Our O-line, I don't know, they didn't want it more than Fred.
Right.
They were begging to go in, and Coach Hall said, all right, we'll give him a few more plays, but he was taking Kyler Smith out, and Kyler said, oh, no, if they're going, I'm going. So I told them in the huddle, I said, and I told Tyreek, I said, fair catch this punt where we have enough yards to get, and I think they wound up shanking the punt or something. But anyway, I told them they had a few plays. We're up 34-0, and one of you suckers gets hurt, that's going to be the end of me, And they went out and got the first play. So I was very thankful for that. But I think it's a direct reflection of the team we have this year. When I called timeout to get all those guys out, and you see the whole team come out, it was a team deal.
That's
you know
great.
What I mean? And you see the whole team leave the sideline and come celebrate. But that's absolutely an offensive lineman, deal. Range is here tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, Fred doesn't get that record. Our offense does not go at all without those two guys.
Yeah.
They are unsung heroes. They never complain. They're really, really smart football players, and then we try to, feed them a bone, every game. We have, like another night, we ran a little naked bootleg and Brady snuck out and he was wide open, and then the week before we faked a reverse to Ant and Range was wide open, and they forget about those guys, and they're really good athletes and they block really well. They're unselfish, and then Coach Shook does a great job with our receivers blocking downfield.
Yeah.
I mean, just really unselfish. Quarterbacks carrying out fakes. It's all a team deal, and then Fred does his part. God's blessed him with some things that most young men don't have, but he worked his tail off this offseason to get in great shape and to get faster. A lot of those runs that he's popped for 50, 60 yards last year would have been 20, 25, and so I'm proud of him for that. And, like I told him today at the end of practice, now we need to shatter that record.
Yeah.
We need to shatter it where they're in the record books for the rest of the time, but
That's great.
But I was pleased, that we got it, and now we can move forward.
Yeah, that was good. And just taking the time out afterwards to take time to honor the team and to honor Fred. And I love the speaker that was speaking over the loud, announcing it. He gave credit and called out all the offensive linemen.
I might have wrote that for him.
That was great. That was a great moment. And I think that speaks to, our team and why our team is where they are, and they're selfless. So kudos to you and your coaching staff. Coach, 4 out of the last 5 games have been shutouts.
Yep.
I think we're something like 226-6 over the last 5 games, outscoring our opponents and holding them to 6 points. So
Speaking of records, Coach Renato asked Coach White today, or I guess it was Friday, and Coach White, so the record at Coffee is 4 shutouts.
Okay.
And don't quote me on this. I want to say he said 2006 and 2015 maybe. I'm not positive on that. I know 2006 was one of the years. So our defense has tied that. The record for points given up is 67 in 10 regular season games. Now, we've given up 42, but our first team D has given up 30 all year long. So if they can get another shutout in one of the next 2 games, they'll have the record for that. And
that's awesome.
You know, keep these next 2 under, what would that be, 25 points, somewhere in there.
Yep.
They'll have that, you know. So, you know, some people that's not important, but I'm a guy that, hey man, go for it.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's go get it. So
yeah, with the kind of season we're having, man, set every record we can set and bring home a state championship, which is a tough task, but we're on the right track to do that. And we're talking defensively, but offensively, let's talk about it. Friday night, 34-0. We scored 34 points and had a pretty good showing for our offense.
Yeah, the thing that disappoints me is we had a touchdown pass first drive, gets called back because we don't line up correctly out at receiver, you know, and we didn't score on that drive. So that took, you know, in a big game, better opponent, that could cost us the win, could cost us home field, could cost us going home, you know. So we got to correct that, and then you know, Fred scored, and I guess because Cheetah was there, he threw up his little deuces sign. But what it meant was Coach Coe was taking him out of the game. He was deuces for a while. He was going to come out, you know. But that's 14 points.
Right.
You know, and we worked way too hard. All those guys worked way too hard to give anybody anything, you know. And you only get so many opportunities to play this game and to play at a high level and be on a team like this, you know. And so we've got to get that corrected because, you know, moving forward, the competition is going to get better.
Yeah.
You know, 14 points in a playoff game will get you sent home.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so we've got to correct that. That's on us as coaches to get that fixed, and we will.
That's great. Let's turn our attention just to defense. We've talked about it. We talk about it every week. And how impressive we were. Isaiah Johnson, we're going to be interviewing him in just a few moments. Got player of the game. He had 10 tackles. Another great defensive performance Friday night.
Well, you know, we pick the player of the game. We try to look at, you know, who's had a great week of practice, who's affected the game in many, many ways. And guys that get the ball, you could say every week, you know, they could be that guy. But the opening kickoff, Isaiah fielded it and put us in great field position. You know, you talked about his 10 tackles. The thing I love the most is, you know, he's not a huge kid, but he's up on the line of scrimmage a lot, and he's spilling them big old blockers, you know. And then what I mean by that is he's wrong arming. He's sacrificing his body in that inside gap to make that running back run wide where our speed can tackle it for a loss, you know. And not all kids, number one, can do that, but more importantly, not all kids are willing to do that, you know. And he's willing and he's able and he does a good job of it, and he plays with great football IQ, great eyesight, communicates really well, you know. And so we just felt like all around, you know, he affected 2 phases of the game big time. And then he had two tackles on kickoff as well. Yeah, you know, so he's fielding kicks, he's covering kicks, he's spilling the ball to his teammates, you know, who are unblocked, and then he's also making tackles himself. So we felt like, you know, he deserved that, and as well, he's played well every game, you know, and only a junior, so that's a good thing.
That's another exciting thing. And it was homecoming Friday night, and the fans were there, and high intense, and a lot of things going on with our young men. So for them to be able to stay focused, I know you talked about offensively, we lost a little bit of focus or made a few mistakes that could cost us in the playoffs, and I know you guys will correct that. But overall, a 34-0 shutout was good for Friday night, and our guys are just playing at a high level. Yep. This Friday night is our last home game of the regular season now, and we play Greenbrier kind of town. What do you know about Greenbrier? What do we need to know?
You know, they took the opening drive right down the field on Ware and scored, and you know, they gave up a lot of points, but they put up 20 on Ware, you know, and so they do a little bit of everything. They throw it around some, they'll spread you out, but they'll run the quarterback, you know, so you got to play with great eye discipline. And you know, here's the thing, they have nothing to lose.
Yep.
Right? So you better be ready for double passes, reverse passes, Emory and Henry, fake punts, fake field goals, you name it. You know what I mean? And then offensively, we better. I call it junk defenses. Like we never see what other teams' normal defenses are. We always get some kind of junk defense because of Fred and because of how we run the ball. They're gonna put somebody extra in that box some form or fashion, you know. And it's on us as coaches to figure out who's keying who, why is this guy here and not here. And then the thing I think we can do this year that we could not do last year, though, is I'll throw it. You know, like the other night, they came out in that 6-man front. I said, okay. You know, so we went empty, and they put number 4 up there on Anthony Paulk. And I turned around and looked. It was Tyree, it was Cheetah, and some other guys. And I turned around and looked, and I said, touchdown 19. Anybody want to put something on it?
Yeah.
You know, because he was in his face, and I knew he couldn't run with him. And you talk about a heck of a throw by Maurice. You know, we turned the guy loose up front, and Maurice stood there in the face of it, and I mean, laid it in the bucket.
Yes, he
you know.
did.
And I think we threw it 22 times maybe. I think Maurice threw for 220 yards, 3 touchdowns. Had the one on the first drive that was not his fault. Should have had 4 touchdowns. You know, as long as he can do that, you know,
and he responded from a previous week, which wasn't his probably was not his best numbers of the year.
But I've told you all year long, that dude is the same cat.
Yeah.
Like he was no different the other night throwing 3 touchdowns than he was a week before when he threw an interception. I mean, he's the same dude, and that's what you want. He never gets too high, he never gets too low.
That's great.
You know, and I just try to tell him, listen, man, you're a guy. You know, so whatever happens, let's go. I'm riding with you. You know, let's go do it. And he responded, and he's starting to get back in his groove. You know, he's starting. His arm strength looks good, but he really worked his tail off on footwork last week, and I think it showed. And one thing he's got to do is you know, when it breaks down or something's not there, throw it in the stands.
Yeah.
Just live the play another day. Don't get drilled back there, and don't run around. You know, like Lamar Jackson said.
Right.
Just throw it away. Because here's the thing. Listen, man, I'll punt, right? I trust our defense.
Yeah.
Like, let them go play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
Right.
So don't do anything that's going to put them in a bad spot. You know, punt that joke because our punter can punt it.
Yes, he can.
We can cover it. We have a great punt team. Punt it down there and let our defense play football. You know, and they'll get us the ball back.
That's great. And Anthony Paulk, you mentioned his name, another stellar game, and just kind of seeing him being used a little more. I mean, I know it's always been there, but Friday night you unleashed him a little bit more, called his number a little bit more, so to say.
Did anybody come in this morning and mention that I used Anthony Paulk more?
They did.
They didn't.
They did.
They didn't give you any props on that. Yeah, good news is Pat McCall practiced today.
That's great.
Looked like his old, I don't know, he's sitting over there, but he looked like his old self to me. You know, like he was riding pretty good on that thing. So hopefully he'll continue to improve this week, and we can let him strap it up Friday. And you talk about making it a little more dangerous. You put him and Ant and Tyreek and James and Bray and Hurt. I mean, we've got a number of guys, packages we can put out there along with Fred.
Right.
You know, and we got some guys that can. It's not just Fred or Ant. You know what I mean? We can. Right. We got a multitude of guys we can throw it to, hand it to, getting back to what we had at the beginning of the year.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question now. Don't push me off my stool. We're getting into Greenbrier, and we've got Ware County staring us down.
Yeah.
I know you guys as a coaching staff do a fantastic job of keeping our players focused.
We're not working on Ware County. If that's what
that's
you're
right.
asking.
Have you heard any whispers, or you keep it quiet with the kids and make sure they're staying focused on Greenbrier?
Whispers of.
Just among the players.
No, I mean our kids we got smart kids. I mean, not just grade-wise. We got smart football players. I mean, they know.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I don't have to say anything to them. You know, and that's what high school football is about.
Yes,
I mean, my goodness. And I used to tell my kids at Madison when I was there, we played an unbelievable schedule. You know, people are like, man, you're crazy. You only got 45 kids and you're playing all these bigger schools. And I'm like, there's absolutely zero fun in going and playing. You know, I'm not gonna mention any names, but most of the teams, most of the counties around us were not very good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now there's some value in that you get to play, you know, all your kids and all that. But my gracious, when you get to the playoffs, and they're easier than who you've played in the regular season.
Yeah.
But to me, you talk about giving kids great memories and moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who would not want to go to Waycross, Georgia next Friday at 7:30?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not pressure; it's a privilege.
Right.
Like, who would not want to go be there and play in that? Because here's my thing, man. Win, lose, or draw, the sun's gonna come up. I'm not gonna love our kids any more or any less. Just go play. Go be who you are.
The best you can.
I got the widest shoulders in the county. I'll take all the blame for anything that goes wrong, and I could care less what people think. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And that's not being disrespectful, but I know my heart. I know how hard we coach and what we put in I know what our kids do and what they're about. And again, man, I'll take them jokers anywhere and play.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
that's
said
the way
it,
I feel about it.
Proof's in the pudding, and you guys have shown it. Our Trojans have shown it week in and week out. Let's lean into special teams real quick. We've been having a tremendous season with special teams, and Friday night, again, our kicker showed out and did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, you know, James, I was telling his dad today, it might be the biggest difference on this year's team as far as just a physical standpoint of how it affects the game is him. Man, I'm going to tell you, this is year 30 for me coaching. I don't know if I've ever had a kid consistently put the ball in the end zone kickoff. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, this has never happened, you know. And he's consistently putting it either on the 1, 2, putting the air on the ball where our guys can run down there and knock the fire out of people, or he's kicking in the end zone. You know, then the one on the other night where they got the penalty, he kicked from the 45, he kicked that joker to the band, you know, through the goalpost.
Through the goalpost.
You know? And it just, you know, you talk about helping the defense.
Yeah.
Because last year we averaged like 37, 38-yard line. Now it's, you know, 18, 19, 20-yard line. That's 2 first downs. Well, against our defense, 2 first downs is hard to get.
Yeah.
In a row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you talk about changing the game. I mean, for us, I mean, that's huge, big time, you know. And then Jonah, I know he missed the field goal, but, you know, when he goes out there for extra points, you don't worry about him shanking them or getting nervous. He's solid as a rock there, you know. And Jaden snapping and Bray snapping on punt. McHale's punting. I mean, that guy, man, he's unbelievable. Punting the ball. You know, Tyreek hasn't ran any punts back all the way, but the thing I love about him, he's not going to let that ball bounce around. If it's where he can go get it, he's going to go get it. He's not going to let the other team get hidden yardage on us.
That is so big. I don't know that many football fans at high school level especially appreciate something like that. That's 5 and 10 yards. It saves you
the same thing
time.
James does for our defense, Tyreek does for our offense. Just fair catching it.
Yep.
Not letting that ball bounce 10, 20 yards, you know, and now we've got 20 more yards to go. And it changes the way you call the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He runs the ball like the other night. He ran the ball back to, I think, the 40, and then he got a horse collar. I'm like, hey, let's take a shot. Yeah. If it's back there on our negative 25, I'm not going to put our defense in that position.
Yep.
With the positive, you know, we throw a pick. Okay, well, it's just like we punted down there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just changes the whole outlook of the game. Coach Vester does a great job. I mean, he's very intense with it. He studies his butt off with that thing. And them kids, you know, I think I got to get the donuts tomorrow morning for the O-line and Fred. I think this might be the first Tuesday he hadn't had to buy donuts because we missed the field goal, you know. But most times he's spending $30, $40 at Holt's. Holt's, by the way, if anybody's listening, y'all might want to help us with the sponsorship because we have bought a lot of donuts between special teams and defense. I mean, a lot.
Those are good donuts, too.
Yeah, man, it's hard to lose weight football season in this place. But, you know, again, I say it all the time, our team's so complimentary.
Yeah.
They help each other out in so many different facets, you know. And going back to the Statesboro game, we had a bad punt snap. It didn't bother them a lick, man. Defense went there and stopped them.
Yeah.
I mean, they started going backwards. They had the ball like 25. Next thing you know, it's on the 50.
Yep.
The defense is like, it don't matter. You ain't scoring. You ain't scoring. You're not going to do it, you know. And so, no finger pointing. Just go play.
That's great. Well, Coach, congratulations again.
Appreciate it.
We just wish you the best of luck and hope you guys come out Friday night and support us our last home game. It is Chick-Fil-A night, so we will be in the house handing away free items. And so please come out and support our boys if you haven't already.
It's
Coach.
rec night, too, so
It
all
is
the
rec
Little
night,
League fellas will be there.
So we're going to have us a crowd and stay around for the game as well. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
Good luck
Appreciate
to
you.
you.
Thanks,
yes,
buddy.
sir. Appreciate you. We're going to bring on our first player for interview, Mr. Isaiah Johnson. As he's coming on, just want to thank one of our sponsors, Robert Preston and Douglas Now, for allowing us to stream on their service and their sites. mean so much to us and do so much for our community. So we appreciate Mr. Robert Preston and him. Isaiah, how's it going, man?
I'm good.
Go ahead and scoot up a little bit closer so that they can hear you right here. Get in the mic. Don't be shy tonight. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What year are you, and what positions do you play for the Trojans?
I'm 17. I'm a junior, and I play strong safety, rover, free safety, special teams, all that.
That's great, man. What is your as far as in the off season? I ask this just about every player. You guys are, as a team and as a player in general, a lot of you guys have improved tremendously from last year to this year. Going into the off season last year, what was the one thing you knew you had to work out really hard to be better than you were the year before?
I had to get a little bit faster. I was slow. I mean, the whole team, they wanted us to run track and all, but we had to get faster.
And so you've gotten faster?
Yes, sir.
Your defense, man, you guys are doing a fantastic job. And talking with Coach Co, I mean, he keeps you focused on the game ahead. How have you guys been able to collectively as a whole, week in and week out, do what you're doing? 4 shutouts out of the last 5 games.
I mean, the biggest thing we have to communicate, which we do that, is better than what it was last year. But we always play as a unit, though. So that's basically it.
That's awesome. What I appreciate and what I love, man, is you guys hit people in the mouth. You're very physical as a defense, and you fly to the ball. So we commend you guys on that. I'm going to ask you this, and then we'll bring on Range. Who's your favorite college football team this year?
Oh, Alabama.
Come on, man.
That's always been my favorite team.
You live in Georgia. Let's go.
Gotta get
Well, let me ask you this. If the University of Georgia recruited you, would you go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, man. Congratulations on being player of the game. And thank you for coming and being with us, all right? Get you some food.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right, guys, we're going to bring on Range Robinson, who was the offensive player of the game. Just a few moments as we do that, we want to give a shout out to the man behind the camera, Chris Wiggins and Centerpoint Technology Solutions. You good, man? Easy.
Yeah. Not bad.
I'm gonna back up. You might headbutt me, but we want to thank Chris for all that he does, being able to bring this show. You doing all right, Range?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. Congratulations on being offensive player of the game on Friday night. You've had a tremendous season.
Yes, sir.
You guys are undefeated, and especially number 1 in 5A. How does that feel to you?
I mean, it's just what we expected, really. We've been training like a few weeks after Cartersville, so this is what we've been looking forward to, and just hard work.
That's awesome, man. That's great. So I asked Isaiah this. I'll ask you, as you were kind of going into the off season last year, what was the one thing you knew that you needed to focus on to become a better player this year?
Oh, get faster. That's the number one thing they preached to us last year, that we lacked in speed last year, and it was going to be a determining factor for us to go where we want to go in the next year. So we worked hard on just getting faster.
That's great. Well, you guys are fast. I've been so impressed offensively with all the things that you guys, all the moving parts it seems that your offense has, and how confident you guys are at any call in any formation, whenever it's called. I mean, and Maurice, he just spreads the ball around. It seems like you guys just have an endless amount of receivers just coming in and out, catching balls, and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything special that you guys do in practice to have that camaraderie?
I think, like, as opposed to last year, we have a greater number of players that can go in whenever we call them in and, like, just get the job done. So last year we might have had a limited number of players that could just do what they needed to do, and now we have, like, Bray, we have Pat, we have Tyreek, we have Ant, we have all these people that can just go in and do what they have to do.
And that's when I'm watching a game, that's exactly what it feels like, man. It's so exciting to watch you guys because every person just steps up, and it's like, oh, who's that? Oh, there he is. Oh, who's this kid? Oh, there they is. Oh, man, look at that catch. Who's this kid? I mean, it's just great. You guys have a great thing going, and so just commend you and your teammates on the hard work. Just keep it up, man. And we're behind you. We're supporting you. And thank you guys for playing football the way you do. You make it fun for fans like me who used to play the game here at Coffee. It's fun to go back and watch you guys, and I enjoy just watching that offense at work. So I'm going to end you in the interview with this. Who's your favorite college football team?
I love the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs. And it's Georgia, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Go Dogs. I can't wait. You think we're going to get Florida Saturday?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'll be there in Jacksonville, so I can't wait. Hey, man, congratulations. Good luck. Finish out the season strong, and we will be there supporting you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, do we have James? Okay, we're going to have one more interview tonight. We got 3 for you. James Gerard's going to come on as player of the game. While he does that, I want to take just a few moments before we finish up this interview and end out the show just to thank our owner and operator, Mr. Matt Baker, for his heart here at Chick-fil-A Douglas and his heart to be able to serve our community, which is where this coaches show was birthed at, so we could bring something to our community to show off our sports and athletics here in Coffee County and surrounding counties. So, James, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. This is the first time I've ever met you. The other players I know and have met, so it's nice to meet you. And want to congratulate you on being a player of the game. Tell us your year in school, junior or senior, and kind of what you do for the Trojans.
I'm a junior, 16 years old, and I'm the kicker and a wide receiver for the Coffee Trojans.
That's awesome, man. And Coach, I don't know if you heard him, but he said in his 30 years of coaching, he don't know that he's had a kicker that can kick it in the end zone as consistently as you do. So how did you change from last year to this year in the offseason? What were some of the things, or maybe one thing specifically that you worked hard on?
Well, I focused on really kicking the ball. Like, I had accuracy down, so I was focusing on power mostly. And, you know, I do soccer in the off season, so that helped me out a bunch.
So soccer is the trick. It's the key. It's the secret sauce, right?
Yes,
Well, that's awesome. Well, man, you do a great job. And then not only that, but like you said, you're also a wide receiver and do a tremendous job at blocking for Fred, who's one of the top runners in 5A. Talk about your core, your wide receiver as a group. You guys are not only athletic and can catch, but you do a tremendous job of being selfless and blocking. You guys have any one-liners that you use with each other? How do you collectively do that as a wide receiver core?
Not really. That's just the mentality that Coach Co has put in our brains about, you know, it's not all about us, you know, and it's a team sport, you know. So we're gonna block for Fred because, you know, it's a team, you know. Not one of us is gonna make the win. You know?
That's right. It takes all 11 on the field at the time. That's awesome, man. I love that. I commend you. Congratulations again on being player of the game. Keep kicking that ball. I mean, Friday night you kicked one through the goalpost. That was pretty cool. Right?
Yes,
It's kind of like what a kicker lives for, to have a moment to do that on the kickoff. It's just kind of fun. So congratulations on all that. Who's your favorite college football team this year?
Oh, the Dogs, of course.
Go Dogs.
Go
We got
Dogs.
2 dogs. So, Coach, you did good with that, bringing me 2 dogs this week. Even though we might face his Seminoles down the road, and I got to be honest, they're pretty good this year.
Yeah, they're good, but I ain't worried.
We're going to take care of the Gators, that other Florida team, this weekend, hopefully on Saturday.
Yes,
so
sir.
thank you, man. Congratulations. You can just hang out right there as I end the show. Thank you so much for being with us. I just want to end just with a little scripture. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." And I just want to encourage you, no matter where we're at or what we're walking through, just remember that the Lord Jesus is always there for you. You just call on him, and he will always be there to help you through anything, the good times and the bad. And we thank you so much again for joining us. We'll be back next Friday night to break down Greenbrier and to look forward to towards the end of the season. And so join us Monday right here at 7 p.m. here at Chick-fil-A Douglas. God bless you. Have a good evening.